Hello. And good afternoon, baseball fans. We apologize for coming to you so late as we have just thrown the ceremonial first pitch in today's Sunday baseball game with the Spearfish Sasquatch facing off against the Nebraska Prospects in Game 3 of this series at home. We just got word that we have some potential severe thunderstorms rolling in, possibly in the next 30 minutes to an hour, so we're going to be keeping a lookout on that. And our equipment just actually overheated for a few moments, so that tells you anything about the weather that we are facing here in Spearfish, South Dakota. But nevertheless, as of right now, it is a beautiful day for some baseball at the 4:05 hour as we are a minute away from first pitch. I am Win Andrews, the voice of the Sasquatch, joining you live for hopefully a Sasquatch win. So with the Sasquatch pitcher on the mound getting ready, we are going to run through the quick first few lineups for the Sasquatch and the visiting prospects. So, with that being said, leading off for the prospects, number 11 center fielder Matt Getzman. Batting second, number 17 the right fielder Colin Lynham. Batting third, number 7 the shortstop Nolan Brown. Batting fourth and cleanup, number 12 the third baseman Tristan Gomes. Batting fifth, number 35 first baseman Ryan David. Batting sixth, number 15 the designated hitter Zach Johnson. Batting seventh, number 16 the left fielder Cade Lynham. Batting eighth, number 3 the second baseman JD DePrima. And batting ninth, number 32 the catcher Jackson Meyer. And now, for your Spearfish Sasquatch, leading off, bit of a different lineup today, switching it up, mixing it up. Should be an exciting matchup for our team. The hometown Sasquatch, leading off for the order, number 3 left fielder Trey Vorwald. Batting second, number 12 the shortstop Gabe Springer. Batting third, number 23 and catching Andrew Johnson. Batting fourth, number 30 the designated hitter Drew Biggerstaff. Batting fifth, number 29 the first baseman Keenan O'Brien. Batting sixth, number 13 the third baseman Ivan Palomino. Batting seventh, number 17 and second base Bailey Bordis. Batting eighth, number 11 the center fielder Gage Crott. And leading out the order, rounding out the order for the Squatch, number 18 right fielder Davis Carr. And on the mound tonight for your Spearfish Sasquatch in his second start at home, Hunter Pauly taking the start. So should be a very exciting lineup. Very exciting matchup between both of these teams as the Squatch are looking to get back on track in Game 3 after a loss in Games 1 and 2, trying to salvage this series. And hopefully today is the day for that to happen. And Matt Getzman, number 11, stepping in against Pauly. Right at 4:06. And the first pitch from Pauly. Taken for a called strike, 77 degrees. On the first pitch, we are officially underway on this Sunday afternoon. We are glad that you were able to join us today, as the Squatch are donning their blue jerseys, labeled Spearfish across the front, and white pants. At the end of the day, it's a pretty arguable statement that Spearfish by far has the best jerseys in the Independence League, as that one is way over the head of Getzman. Count is now 2-1 as people start to flow in just a minute after first pitch. So very excited for some afternoon baseball. The Squatch are trying to obtain that 5th win of the year. That one is lifted out of play. Foul. Strike 2. The Squatch are now 3-7 in their last 2 games. So after winning 2 in a row against the Moo in the first series of this homestand, they have now lost their last 2, both to the Prospects. And some pretty tough games. But in the game of baseball, you just look on to the next day, and that's exactly what this team is doing tonight. The 2-2 from Pauly, taken outside and past Johnson, who was catching behind the plate. First time we've seen Andrew catching behind the dish in a few games. We've seen him in the DH spot a couple of games ago. And now getting another start and catching. And the first full count of the day, a swing and the miss from Matt Getzman to retire him on the full count. So that is the first strikeout of the day for Hunter Pauly. And Colin Lynham, the right fielder, batting second. So the Squatch are 4-12 on the year to start out the season. The Prospects are 3-4. Being losers of their last 3 coming into this series with the Squatch. They have turned things around, winning the first 2 as they are an always visiting team. Which means they were invited to play in the Independence League this year, as this is the first year of this league being formed, but they are not an official member of the league. They are here to help balance the league schedule, as well as bring plenty of competition to opposing teams, as they have. They have plenty of great players. As we have seen in the first 2 games, the 2-1 to Lynham, and that one is going to be lifted down the right field line, and that is going to be a fair ball right on the left field line. As Lynham jogs in for a double, wasn't sure initially out of the box whether it was going to drop fair or not. But it does, so a stand-up double for Cade Lynham. And the first hit of the night for the Prospects. And Nolan Brown, the shortstop, we've seen him at short the first 2 games of the year. And he has been very busy at that position. So now starting to get a bit overcast. Already in the top of the first. There's plenty of talk discussing whether or not this game would be able to be played today. As looking at the weather earlier today, it appeared that rain was going to be starting around the 5 o'clock hour, so 50 minutes from now, Mountain Time. And with those clouds rolling in as they tend to do during the month of June in South Dakota. And Keenan O'Brien, the first baseman, over in foul ground, gets that fly ball for out number 2. So hopefully we are able to play this game. Maybe if Hunter Pauly just completely dominates this game, can fly by. We had similar weather yesterday during the game with Tristan Gomes, the tall third baseman for Nebraska. And we've seen him over at the first base bag the past couple of games. Now getting a chance at the hot corner. So now 2 outs. And line him on second for Tristan. But the wind's starting to pick up. Yesterday we had actually got out of the game before the bottom completely fell out on us. And unfortunately that was a 6-2 loss for the Squatch, as the Prospects fired back to take the lead and some in the top of the 8th. And that pitch is going to be in the dirt as heads up base running from Lynham takes him to third base. Johnson didn't expect Colin to be running, so a free base for Lynham. Now a runner on third with 2 outs, and Tristan, who has been able to see the ball well, squaring it up left and right against the Sasquatch. So Pauly looking to get out of the first inning, and that one is going to find a gap out in right center, and that'll be at the track as Gage Crott, the center fielder, is going to track it down and throw it to Bailey Bordas, the second baseman tonight, but a run for the Prospects is going to cross after that double from Tristan Gomes. He just seems to repeat that success game after game here at Black Hills Energy Stadium. And now Ryan David, who will be playing first base today. So an early run for the Prospects. And the first pitch from Pauly, as it sounds like we have a tornado warning. That is never a good sign, as the alarms are blaring throughout. We actually finished the game yesterday in time, although there was lightning in the distance, but from what it appears to be right now, it doesn't seem, if the weather continues to roll in our way from the left, we might be in a bit of a predicament here. It is Jersey and Jerky night here at the home stadium for your Spearfish Sasquatch. We love that you're able to make it out if you are able to. Each game as we have something different. Every night we have plenty of different jerseys, specifically baseball, fitting the scene to wear them to a baseball game. Plenty of Cubs fans showing their support for their team in the stands. And a lot of Sasquatch jerseys. You love to see that. And the jerky factor comes into play from our friends over at Fleet Farm, who are giving out free jerky tonight. So a lot happening. And if this game is to be continued, if this weather holds off, we have some exciting guests who will be joining me in the booth today. Very excited for that. The 0-2. And that is going to find the outer edge of the zone for strike 3. So Ryan David retired on strikes, but a run crosses for the Prospects. But outside of that, a relatively easy inning for Hunter Pauly. The Squatch looking to take back that lead and dig into this game. We'll be right back with you. Prospects up 1-0, headed to the bottom of the first. And welcome back with us in the bottom of the first inning. The Nebraska Prospects have taken an early 1-0 lead as Trey Vorwald for the Squatch leading off today. Looking to drop one somewhere and get this inning going for the Squatch offense against the pitcher on the mound for Nebraska, number 23, Brandon Doty. As that one is fouled back. Doty from Lincoln, Nebraska, in his second appearance tonight of the season. In his first game against the Hastings Sodbusters, he pitched 2 innings of relief, walked 4 in those 2 innings, but did not give up a run. So we'll see how his command of his pitches is tonight. There's one thing we do know. Opposing teams, opposing pitchers have to have command of their pitches against the Squatch lineup because they are a very patient and disciplined team at the plate. They are not afraid to take their bases. There have been plenty of opportunities for the Squatch to cash in some runs, loading up the bases numerous times, including a game yesterday. In one of the innings, in fact, Squatch loaded them up with no one out, but were unable to get a run across. We don't want that trend to flow over into today. The 2-2 to Trey, taken low for ball 3. As Gabe Springer, who is playing shortstop today, is in the on-deck circle. The full count from Doty. Taken up high for ball 4. So immediately a leadoff walk for Trey Vorwald. And now Gabe Springer stepping in for his first look at Doty. Today's lineup, as many times is, in a Sunday matchup between baseball teams. That one is lifted a mile high out towards right field. And that ball is going to get into the glove of right fielder Colin Lynham for out number 1. So Springer got just under it for out number 1. And now Andrew Johnson batting third tonight. In a Sunday afternoon matchup, many teams like to rest some of their players here and there. You might have recognized a few notable names out of the lineup for today's game. Which means many different positions for players in this lineup. You might recognize that Johnny McHenry usually leads off for the Squatch, and Ryan Bachman is usually set to follow in the 2-hole, and neither of them have gotten the start today. This is their first rest day of the season. They have been playing game after game, so a well-deserved day of rest, and I'm excited to announce that we will have both of them joining me in the booth throughout these next few innings. And Ryan Bachman will be joining us in the booth first, as they want to come say hello. But we'll probably be dipping out in the later innings if this game continues to be played. As Vorwald rushes back to first, and he will be safe. So if this game were to be continued, as it hopefully will be, just as Harrison Clark was the first baseman who had a rest day yesterday, he ended up pinch hitting in that 9th inning. And I'm sure you have valuable bats in Bachman and McHenry as shown so far this year. You're going to want them in that lineup, as that is going to be a strikeout for out number 2, Johnson. This big swing and a miss. And that'll be the first strikeout of the day for Brandon Doty. And Drew Biggerstaff hitting cleanup. His 3rd game for the Sasquatch. He's the designated hitter today. You've seen him behind the dish. In fact, today we have 4 potential catchers in our lineup, and that one is going to be lined up the middle as Vorwald rounds second, and he heads his way to third, and that'll be a 2-out single for Drew Biggerstaff, who, as we have seen, can hit the ball. Great start to his season. Now 2 on and 2 out in the bottom of the first, and Keenan O'Brien, another hot bat, had a great game last night. A sliding triple in the middle of the game. O'Brien is the first baseman today. As I was saying, there are 4 potential catchers in this lineup, Andrew Johnson being one of them, Biggerstaff, O'Brien, who can play first and catcher, and Davis Carr, who is in the 9 spot. He's playing right field today. So a very interesting lineup as Coach Tanner Hill looking to rest some of the players who seem to get everyday action. And center fielder Carson Green is also another one of those players. So now Doty ahead 0-2 on Keenan O'Brien. The wind's starting to pick up just a bit. And the 0-2. Biggerstaff trying to steal. He's going to slide, and it'll not be in time. So a great heads-up run from Drew Biggerstaff. Now runners in scoring position, second and third. 2 outs, and now a 1-2 count to Keenan. The Squatch seem to find their rhythm in that series against the Fremont Moo in the first 3 games of this homestand. But in this next series with the Prospects, they've seemed to struggle at times. The 1-2 to Keenan, and that one is going to be lined out towards left center, and that was going to find a gap as Vorwald comes home, and that's going to be an easy run home for Biggerstaff and O'Brien. Once again, another extra base hit, and the Squatch have a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the first. You've got to love the offensive production through these first few games for Keenan O'Brien. And this Sasquatch offense surely appreciates it, as does the home crowd. And now Ivan Palomino, the third baseman today. So now 2 hits, 2 runs for the Squatch in the bottom of the first. Some early action on the offensive end from both of these teams. As Doty is now ahead 0-2. As he readies for the pitch to Palomino, fouled back. So Vorwald took a 1-out walk. And then a ball that dropped for Drew Biggerstaff led to Keenan O'Brien. Driving in both of them as they were on second and third with him up, and that one is going to be a bit inside. And Keenan able to square up on that pitch with 2 outs. We'd love to see more of that. This lineup for Spearfish is truly capable, no doubt about it. But Palomino is going to be called out as he looks at strike 3. But the Squatch have now a 2-1 lead, courtesy of that 2-run double just a few moments ago from first baseman Keenan O'Brien. So a lead. We love seeing those headed to the top of the second. And now another chance for Hunter Polly to come back on as we have Ryan Bachman, the second baseman for the Squatch, joining us in the booth for some undoubtable, incredible commentary. Love to hear what he has to say. We'll be right back with you. Squatch up 2-1. And we are back in the top of the second inning as the Squatch hold a 2-1 lead. And Hunter Pauly back on the mound against Zach Johnson. Fouls back, strike one. Zach Johnson batting 6th tonight in the designated hitter position. Is now behind 0-1. An exciting first inning on both ends. Prospects drove a run across. Squatch came right back. Put up 2 of their own. And now Pauly with a 1-1 count to Johnson. He's had a decent series so far. I'm joined here now by second baseman on his first rest day of the season, Ryan Bachman, a Spearfish Sasquatch legend in his last 2 seasons with the team. Ryan, how does it feel to have your first off day and, I mean, quite literally all season?
It feels good. It's good to just be able to kind of hang out and have a day to rest up the body and also watch the guys go and stuff. So it's good to kind of just be around, hang out, to come up and hang out with you. So it's been fun.
Oh, it's quality time. I love to hear that, always a fun time. Ryan, definitely the energy behind the Sasquatch team, as this is your second year in Spearfish, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
How has that been? What's been different between this first season and the second season, coming back, sort of being a veteran role?
I think 100%. Whoopsies. Good now?
Seem to be having a few technical difficulties at the moment. I tell you, our equipment has been all over the place. We apologize, Ryan, as things are all over the place throughout the first 2 innings here tonight in Game 3. As Pauly has the first out on Zach Johnson, and Cade Lynham, the left fielder, takes a big hack for strike one.
How's this?
As it appears, Ryan is blasting through the broadcast. It is not your fault, Ryan. Hopefully everything's going well. It appears that we do still have a few technical issues that we have to flatten out in the bottom of the second, as Ryan Bachman takes off his headset. He's trying to be very quiet. Folks, we are going to get it straightened out because we want you to hear from the second baseman. He has a lot to say. We have a lot of questions to ask him. And hopefully you can hear me now too. As Hunter Pauly with the 2-1 takes that nice pitch that curls into the zone for strike 2. So apologies once more, as we have had a few issues here and there with our sound system tonight. Not sure what that's about, as that one is grounded up the middle. Bailey Bordas fields it, throws over, and not going to be in time as Brian tries. Great attempt off of the back foot of Bordas just to get it to first. But a little off the bag, so that'll be an infield single for Cade Lynham, as J.D. DePrima, the second baseman, steps in for his first look at Hunter Pauly. But we will definitely get back into this conversation with Ryan Bachman. Hopefully very soon as the bottom of the second, which we hope will be very quick. Another beauty of a strike. An 0-1 count to DePrima. So Springer at shortstop for his first time tonight. Haven't seen much of that. Haven't seen that at all, in fact, this season. Gage Crott in center field. Good to see him out there. Able to play plenty of positions. And the catcher in his first appearance in right field, Davis Carr. So a bit of a variety in Game 3. Very entertaining to watch, as that one is going to be grounded to Springer. Springer's trying to turn. Bordas to first for a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. So a few different positions for Springer and Bordas at second, but they're able to effectively turn that double play. And that scoring threat is eliminated as the Squatch head to the bottom of the second, still on top 2-1. We'll be right back with Ryan Bachman headed to the bottom of the second. Hopefully we have things worked out. Are you recording us? Oh, so we are live. Perfect. So we have flattened out a few of these sound issues that we had in the top of the second inning, as I'm here with Ryan Bachman. And in the bottom of the second, with the Squatch holding a 2-1 lead against the Nebraska Prospects in Game 3. Ryan, so glad to have you with us again. Yes,
I should be good now, right?
You're not going to blast us all out
Perfect.
of the booth, because
That's good. Great.
as our sound man, Patrick Hennessy, to the right of us, was trying to figure out what was going on with the sound. He said that he looked over and everything was just turned up just to 100. We have no idea what was going on. But now you sound great.
I appreciate
and
it.
everyone
You
at
sound
home,
great too.
I appreciate it, Ryan. Everyone at home is now not going to be like having a loss of hearing. So
We don't want that.
that would be unfortunate, as we are now back in the second inning of work with Doty on the mound, as that one is going to be lifted deep into center field.
Head.
The center fielder headed back, and that one is going to drop right at the batter's eye for a leadoff double.
It's a great swing by Bailey.
Bailey Bordas, the second baseman. You better watch out, Ryan. It looks like he's having a productive day at second right now. After being able to turn that 6-4-3 just a few moments ago to end the inning, blast one out to the 400 wall. So, a beautiful swing from Bordas and a leadoff double. Squatch are putting it in play early.
That's great to see from Bailey, especially too. We were I was taking the off day today, so I was throwing BP, and I was working with Bailey and everything, and just trying not to have him create lift. He's strong enough, he's a big enough dude that once he hits the ball and barrels it up, it's going to go in the air on its own. So just trying to have a good path to the ball and be able to take a good swing like that is awesome to see.
As Gage Crutch steps in, 3 hits to each team so far. That one is going to be in the dirt as Crutch shows bunt. Bordas races back to second. So Ryan, obviously you're offering that great insight, a great analysis, professional analysis. In your first season with the Squatch, how has your role sort of changed? I know you were around a lot of older guys at the time, a lot of veterans who are no longer on this team in this year. So how has that changed? That was going to be a bunt that is going to drop for Crut.
You don't see that every day, Wayne.
You do not see that, a pop bunt that gets over the head of Doty on the mound, and Crut was already halfway out of the batter's box before it dropped. So
yeah,
now
I can't say I've ever seen that before, but it worked. We'll take it.
Hey, when the Squatch bats are hot, things can happen. You've seen it.
Great things work. But yeah, back to your question, I think the biggest difference is I started off as a temp last year. I wasn't even supposed to be here the whole summer. It was kind of a 10-day thing. I signed late, and luckily something happened where a spot opened up, and I was able to stay the whole summer. But I think that's the biggest thing, is just coming in knowing that I'm going to be, playing every day and being ready to just, when I get my shot and when I'm, playing every day just to get the reps that I need and try to put good swings on balls and play good defense. I think knowing the consistency has been a big part this year. That's been really nice.
Absolutely. It's crazy how much changes in just one season of summer baseball. Obviously, as you just said, a temporary contract to start out your year last year, and now you were a no-doubter guarantee. General Manager Eric Schmidt was telling us as the season started how excited he was for you to be back, to be able to have a voice on this team and be a leader. So a lot of exciting stuff to come from Ryan Bachman, as there are now runners on first and second. A 1-1 count to Davis Carr. That is another pop bunt, but that one is going to fall in the glove of Jackson Meyer behind the plate. So not as much luck that time around on the bunt attempt. Nothing like Gage Crot's try. You'll never see something like that again.
You might never see that again. That was, you got a lot of barrel on that ball for a bunt. Happy birthday to Trey, by the way.
It's his birthday.
21-year-old guy.
Oh, he's getting old.
I know.
Wow, I didn't know that. He's older than you, isn't he?
By about a week.
Uh-oh. So a little tension there, huh?
Oh, I know. Nah, it's gonna be fun. When me and Johnny turn 21 on the same day, on the 18th. So we'll be in Idaho, but still be fun to kind of celebrate the birthday together. And we got a lot of them kind of coming around here, so it's fun. So
the 1-2 punch, McHenry and Bachman, as you usually see in the Squatch order, both having rest days today. As Vorwald hopefully might be able to knock one in for his birthday. That would be a great present for Squatch Nation as well as him. And he has been seeing the ball well so far. And so have you, Ryan. How do you feel about your performance starting out this season? You are currently hitting well above 300 to start the year, as there's plenty of baseball left to be played. And that one's going to be
Swing,
lined
Trey.
up the middle. So that's what we're talking about. As there, Bordas is going to try for home, and there will not
Safe.
be a contested throw. They try to throw to third, but Crott will be safe. Now runners on the corners, only one out, and now they score 3-1. So, Ryan, he heard your birthday shout out. Decided to say, let me show you something.
Absolutely.
So already a lot more offensive production. Game one, Squatch were up 4-0 to start out. And the past two games, prospects have fired back. What have you been telling the team? What have you been hearing in the dugout? Trying to overcome those two tough losses and is trying to avenge it today in game three.
Well, I think the biggest thing is just trying to be able to string hits together. You know, we always seem to, you know, early in the game we come out quick. It's always just kind of been a good.
And
See,
that's exactly what you're
Yes.
looking for. A smart play, a double steal. Vorwald to second, Crott home. And Vorwald is going to stay second after the bad throw behind the plate from Meyer.
and that's exactly what we've been trying to do. You know, when you're not stringing hits together, you got to do other things to try to manufacture runs. And I think, you know, we've done a really good job, especially in the Fremont series, of being aggressive on the base paths, and also just, you know, we did string some hits together then too, and we have today. We've got, you know, timely hitting, learning to, you know, when there's runners on third or, you know, runners in scoring position with less than 2 outs, not trying to do too much has been big for us these last couple games, and it's what we didn't do well in the first 2 games of the series. You know, we get up early, and then it just kind of gets to where, you know, maybe people get out of their approaches, or, you know, guys start trying to, you know, us as a whole maybe try to start doing too much at the plate, and then that's when the zeros start piling up. And
Right.
so just trying to create some havoc on the bases while also just taking good team ABs has been a big focal point for us these last couple games.
As a 3-0 count to Gabe Springer. That one falls in for a strike, a now 3-1 count. But Gabe Springer now at the plate for his second look at Doty. Vorwald still on second after the double steal to get Gage Crott home. As things are looking a little bleak a few miles away from us. As we did say a few minutes ago, there is a tornado warning. Some really ugly clouds starting to rear its head. But Ryan, what did you say just a few minutes ago? You were actually giving us a weather forecast in the booth. What is the word on the street?
Well, as a guy that lived through the scary storm in Sioux Falls a couple weeks ago, I am still not a weatherman. You were around for our first home opener when I said the clouds were going to go around us, but then we ended up out on the field scooping water off with Pepsi cups.
Well, weathermen are not always correct. You know, it's just a forecast.
Yes.
It's a prediction.
Exactly. But, you know, hopefully it all goes around. We don't got to worry about anything. We can keep playing baseball. But
not looking too promising as of right now. Those clouds are getting dangerously low to the right here of us in the booth. But we continue to play ball as Springer takes his walk just a few moments ago, and Andrew Johnson looking to keep this lead building. Runners on first and second, 1 out. And now the 0-1 with the Squatch having a 4-1 lead. So focusing on the team, we were just talking about the aggressiveness on the base paths. Obviously yesterday with contested throws on stolen bases, we were 0 for 2. That's okay.
and it's you know, kind of a give and take.
It's a
you know.
toss-up every game.
Yeah, and you know my coach at school always says you're not going to win a game of chess by taking all your pieces or by keeping all your pieces. So, you know, you got to kind of, you know, with the run game especially, say they're trying to hold guys onto second, or they're trying to, you know, be really trying to hold the run game down. You get the pitcher off its game. You open up holes in the infield. Guys are playing close to bases. You know, it all is a little bit of a give and take. So I think being able to have teams know that we're going to be aggressive opens up more lanes for balls to get down and different ways for guys to get on base, rather than just, you know, a traditional base hit or a line drive.
Absolutely. And so far in this game, we've seen the benefits of when you're trying to steal. The double steal that drove Gage Crott home as that ball is in the dirt. Vorwald's going to race to third, but it does not look like he is going to be in time. Rather an easy throw from Jackson Meyer to third baseman Tristan Gomes today. That'll end the inning with runners on first and second, but the Squatch still hold a 3-run lead. We are monitoring the weather as we head to the top of the third, but Ryan Bachman, the ever so professional veteran player for the Squatch, still in the booth with us. We have a lot more time to talk as Eric Schmidt, the general manager, is now heading out with head coach Tanner Hill, trying to talk this over as, folks, it is getting uglier and uglier by the second, as it appears we're probably going to be monitoring how much time we have left in this game. Unfortunate with the Squatch holding a 3-run lead. But I will keep you updated in just a few moments as we head to the top of the third. Do not go anywhere. You're listening to Squatch Baseball.
When you venture to Spearfish in the Black Hills of South Dakota, you'll find rugged hiking and biking trails, extreme rock climbs, and views that will take your breath away. Plan a Spearfish vacation and come find your adventure. Spearfish, my great place in South Dakota.
Hello, Squatch Nation. Welcome back to the top of the third inning as your Spearfish Sasquatch hold a 3-run lead, 4-1, behind 5 hits through the first 2 innings of play. And of course, as it always seems to be, it only seems fitting that when the Squatch bats tend to get hot, the weather just has to come in and rear its ugly head. We are currently starting a bit of a weather delay. It has not started raining through the area, especially on the field, but we are looking to the right of the stadium, and unfortunately it's looking like it could be a lot worse than rain. There is a tornado warning in Lawrence County throughout the area, and the clouds continue to get lower and lower, so not a very exciting situation. Hopefully we are able to get this game played in today and that everything will be just fine, as Gavin Van Horn, the relief pitcher, hanging out in the dugout waving at me. How we doing, Gavin? So just for a few moments, we will be back on the air as soon as we know more. Hopefully we will get this game played today. But for now, we are going to be in a temporary weather delay and hoping that this rain just passes around. But for now, the Squatch hold a 4-1 lead, headed to the top of the third. But do not go anywhere, folks. Hopefully we'll get this game back and rolling before no time. So we'll be right back with you. You are listening and watching Squatch Baseball on the Spearfish Sasquatch YouTube channel. All right, Squatch Nation, if you are still tuning in to this live stream, we have been inactive for probably the last 10 to 15 minutes trying to monitor this weather situation. General Manager Eric Schmidt is making his rounds, and it looks like this game might have to be postponed. There are tornado sightings around Lawrence County area, as well as baseball-sized hail that has developed in the Belle Fourche region, which is no bueno, no good. Even though the Squatch have a 4-1 lead, this looks like this is going to have to be the end of the game today. So we don't know much exactly. We're not going to say an official result because we might still be able to play this game. But as of right now, it has not rained on the field, but it has nowhere near passed us. It is starting to come over Black Hills Energy Stadium. So as of right now, the Squatch still hold the 4-1 lead. Not sure of anything of what we're actually not having any results so far on the decision of whether or not this game will end. But for now, people are clearing the area, headed to the concession stand, headed to their cars, headed to a place where they won't get drenched as the wind is beginning to pick up. So we will be back with you in just a little bit. Hopefully so. Hopefully this game can continue to get played. But for now, I am Win Andrews, your voice of the Sasquatch. We will be back with you as soon as we figure out something else. Y'all stay safe and have a great